We're so honored and proud to have Coco with us in Studio 1A. Coco, good morning.
Morning.
Congratulations. I have to say, every time we see Coco, we run, attack, squeal, and we're just lunatics because we are just so amazed by you and so happy for you.
The tennis world is suddenly filled with chatter, but this time the spotlight isn't on a dramatic rally or a championship point. Instead, the conversation is centered around a surprising reaction off the court. Aryna Sabalenka, widely known as one of the most powerful and successful stars in women's tennis today, is reportedly unhappy after Coco Gauff was honored as the youngest player of the year for 2025 star. The award celebrated Gauff's incredible rise and impact at such a young age. Yet sources suggest the recognition has not been warmly received by Sabalenka, adding an unexpected layer of tension and discussion across the tennis community. Before diving deeper into the situation, it's important to understand one key point. This story is not about a classic tennis rivalry built on fierce matches or dramatic showdowns. Instead, it revolves around recognition, major awards, and what can happen when two of the sport's most recognizable figures suddenly stand on different sides of a debate that has sparked huge discussions among fans and analysts. The spotlight is now on Aryna Sabalenka and Coco Gauff, but the issue goes beyond simple competition. Many people are questioning how these honors are decided and whether the outcome truly reflects the achievements of the players involved. So what exactly triggered this reaction, and why does Sabalenka seem so frustrated? To understand the situation, we have to begin with the basics. Gauff, who celebrated her 21st birthday in March 2025, was officially recognized as the youngest player of the year by several respected tennis organizations and major media outlets, a decision that quickly grabbed attention across the tennis world. Anyone who has followed tennis over the past few years knows that Coco Gauff has been in the spotlight since the very beginning of her career. Her rise truly captured global attention during Wimbledon in 2019, when she stepped onto the stage as a fearless 15-year-old and delivered a stunning first-round victory over legendary champion Venus Williams. That unforgettable moment instantly turned her into one of the most talked-about young athletes in the sport. From that point forward, Gauff continued to grow stronger, collecting major wins against top competitors and proving she belonged among the elite. Her breakthrough reached another level in 2023 when she captured her first Grand Slam trophy at the US Open, a victory that confirmed her status as one of the leading faces shaping the future of modern tennis.
Let me put it to you this way. First of all, congratulations to Coco Gauff. She deserves it. I'm rooting for her. She's a champion now. I love it. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And she's been a great, great citizen and a great ambassador for the sport of tennis, and she's only going to get better.
The award itself is designed to recognize young athletes who make a major impact on the sport within a single calendar year. It highlights rising talent and celebrates players who achieve impressive results while still under a specific age limit. In this case, Coco Gauff clearly had a season that caught the attention of the tennis world. During 2025, she delivered several strong performances, reaching the semifinals at the Australian Open, advancing all the way to the final at French Open, and collecting 3 titles on the WTA Tour along the way. By most standards, those results represent a highly successful year and the kind of achievements that awards like this are meant to celebrate. However, this is also where the story begins to take a more complicated turn. Meanwhile, Aryna Sabalenka, who is now 27, has arguably delivered an even more dominant season when it comes to pure results on the court. She lifted the trophy at the Australian Open for the 3rd year in a row in January, added another major by winning the US Open in September, and closed the season ranked as the world #1 on the WTA Tour. According to people close to her camp, Sabalenka feels that awards based mainly on age can sometimes take attention away from actual performance and results on the court. One source even claimed she believes tennis should reward excellence and achievements rather than simply recognizing who is youngest. To understand her perspective, it helps to look at her journey. Sabalenka has been competing professionally since 2012, slowly working her way up through smaller tournaments and building her reputation year by year. Her first Grand Slam victory finally came in 2023 at the Australian Open when she was 24, which is considered relatively late in modern tennis, especially when compared to legends like Monica Seles, Martina Hingis, and Serena Williams, who all captured their first major titles as teenagers, Aryna Sabalenka has taken a very different road to the top of professional tennis, one that demanded time, resilience, and steady improvement rather than instant teenage stardom. Her rise was longer and often more difficult, built through years of hard work before finally reaching the biggest stage. So when a player in her position finishes a remarkable season by winning 2 Grand Slam titles at the Australian Open and the US Open, while also ending the year ranked #1 on the WTA Tour, it is easy to understand why seeing headlines focused on someone else mainly because of age could feel frustrating. Reports, including one from Tennis Magazine, suggest that people close to Sabalenka have quietly voiced concerns about what they believe is a media tendency to spotlight younger stars even when veteran players may be producing stronger results. However, there is also another side to the discussion, and that brings us to Coco Gauff. At only 21, she has already built an impressive resume that many athletes spend an entire career trying to achieve. She captured a Grand Slam title at the US Open in 2023, climbed into the top 5 of the world rankings, and proudly represented the United States in international competitions, all while displaying a level of composure and maturity that has earned widespread respect across the tennis world. After her US Open triumph in 2023, Gauff told reporters a line that has continued to circulate throughout 2025 as the debate grew louder. She said she does not play tennis for awards or recognition, but simply because she truly loves the game. The situation between Aryna Sabalenka and Coco Gauff does not appear to be personal, at least not in any public sense. Both players have consistently shown respect for one another during press conferences and across social media, and their matches have remained professional and competitive. They have faced each other several times on the court, with Sabalenka holding a slight advantage in their head-to-head record. However, the discussion surrounding this award has opened the door to a bigger conversation that has existed in professional tennis for years. The real question is how much a player's age should influence awards and recognition in the sport. In games like golf, separate honors exist for rookies or rising young players, but the main Player of the Year awards usually go to whoever delivered the strongest performances, regardless of age. Tennis does things a little differently. The WTA Tour offers several official honors such as Most Improved Player and Comeback Player of the Year, along with awards that spotlight emerging talent. But when media outlets and tennis publications create their own yearly recognitions, the rules and standards can change from one organization to another, which often leads to debate among fans and analysts. It also makes many longtime followers of the sport pause and think back to the eras of tennis they grew up watching and how players were recognized during those times. Tennis history has always been filled with remarkable young champions. Chris Evert captured her first Grand Slam title at just 18, while Bjorn Borg was only 20 when he claimed his first victory at the French Open. At the same time, the sport has also shown deep respect for players who maintain greatness over long careers. Jimmy Connors continued competing at an elite level well into his late 30s, and Martina Navratilova famously won the Wimbledon Championships at the age of 33. Tennis has always managed to celebrate both youthful breakthroughs and the wisdom of experienced champions. What makes the current moment so fascinating is the timing, because women's tennis today is incredibly deep and competitive. There are rising stars like Coco Gauff capturing global attention, but there are also players in their mid to late 20s such as Aryna Sabalenka, Elena Rybakina, and Jessica Pegula performing some of the strongest tennis of their careers and proving that peak performance in the sport can come at many different stages. The long-standing idea that tennis is only exciting when teenagers are winning major titles no longer reflects the reality of today's game. A report published by The Athletic in October 2025 noted that many tennis organizations are now rethinking how awards are structured. Some groups are even discussing whether age-based categories should disappear altogether, while others believe highlighting young stars is essential for attracting new fans and growing the sport. Aryna Sabalenka indirectly touched on this debate after her victory at the US Open in September. She never mentioned Coco Gauff or any specific award, but her comments drew attention when she told reporters she was proud of everything she had achieved at 27 and pointed out that not every player reaches their peak at 18 or 20. She added that some athletes simply take longer to find their best form, but that does not make their success any less meaningful. The statement quickly fueled discussion across the tennis world, and Sports Illustrated soon published an opinion article arguing that the sport should celebrate athletes at their peak performance rather than focusing mostly on youthful potential. The debate also raises a deeper concern about the pressure placed on young stars. When achievements are constantly measured by age, expectations can become overwhelming. Tennis history provides examples of that pressure, such as Jennifer Capriati, who won Olympic gold at just 16 and captured a major title at a very young age, only to later face burnout and personal struggles during her 20s. The pressure on young players in tennis can be intense, sometimes overwhelming. Maria Sharapova reflected on this in her autobiography, explaining how winning Wimbledon at just 17 brought a level of scrutiny and expectation she wasn't prepared to handle. In that context, Aryna Sabalenka's reported frustration may have less to do with Coco Gauff personally and more to do with a system that sometimes seems to favor early achievement over sustained excellence. In a sport where careers can stretch 15 or even 20 years, the question becomes, does it make sense to give special recognition simply for being young, or should awards reflect the players who truly performed at the highest level, regardless of age? The WTA Tour has tried to remain neutral on the matter. In a statement released in late October, a spokesperson said, "We celebrate all of our players' achievements. Excellence takes many forms, and we're proud to recognize both emerging talent and established champions." While diplomatic, the comment doesn't fully address the underlying debate. Fans have also weighed in, splitting sharply on social media. Younger supporters tend to embrace awards for rising stars, while older or longtime followers often criticize what they see as an overemphasis on youth at the expense of acknowledging top-level performance. A Twitter thread that went viral in early November highlighted just how divided opinions are among tennis fans, especially those with decades of experience. Many users over 50 voiced support for Aryna Sabalenka, with one writing, "I've been watching tennis for 40 years. Since when did we start giving out participation trophies for being young?" Looking at the numbers from 2025 puts the debate into sharp perspective. Sabalenka won 52 matches and lost only 12, while Coco Gauff recorded 47 wins and 15 losses. Sabalenka also captured 2 Grand Slam titles, whereas Gauff reached 2 finals but didn't take home a major trophy. In terms of earnings, Sabalenka brought in roughly $15 million in prize money compared to Gauff's $8 million. Statistically speaking, Sabalenka had the stronger season. Yet Gauff is just 21, and in today's sports media, youth is a compelling narrative. Stories about young stars generate clicks, attract sponsors looking for long-term investments, and appeal to a demographic that tennis organizations are eager to engage, making age-based recognition a headline-grabbing strategy even when older players outperform the newcomers. A 2024 Nielsen report on tennis viewership highlighted a growing challenge. The sport is struggling to engage audiences under 40. Young stars like Coco Gauff are seen as a key to reversing that trend, making them a focal point for media and sponsors alike. So where does this leave the ongoing debate? The controversy shows no signs of disappearing. Both Sabalenka and Gauff will continue their careers, winning matches and thrilling fans, while the larger question, how tennis should balance recognizing achievement versus potential, remains unsettled. This situation underscores broader tensions in professional sports about how success is measured and celebrated. Should the focus be on the story of a prodigy who achieves greatness early, or on the athlete who perseveres, grows steadily, and reaches the top through sheer determination and consistency? In truth, both narratives have value, yet today's media landscape often elevates one over the other. Sabalenka's reported frustration may reflect more than just awards. It points to a deeper concern about how sustained excellence is valued in a sport increasingly captivated by youth and hyped up. Women's tennis has long had a complicated relationship with age, often judging female players differently than their male counterparts. Athletes in their late 20s are frequently described as past their prime, while men at the same stage, like Novak Djokovic, who won multiple Grand Slams well into his mid-30s, are celebrated for their longevity and peak performance. In contrast, conversations about women nearing 30 often focus on retirement plans or legacy rather than continued dominance. Aryna Sabalenka addressed this disparity in an interview with ESPN earlier this year, saying, "I'm 27, not 47. I feel like I'm playing the best tennis of my life, and I plan to keep doing this for a long time.